Hello, all. So, new news story. Let's get into it. Let's see what we got. Okay. Guy mansplains beer choices to server, doesn't realize she's actually a professional brewer. Yeah. They're going to accuse this guy of being sexist while calling him a sexist phrase like mansplain. Ah, God. I don't even want to read this. What's with the knives? Okay. There are fewer things more annoying. What? There are fewer things more annoying than someone pretending. Why fewer? That doesn't make sense. Than someone pretending like they know what they're talking about with full confidence, and there are fewer things more satisfying than seeing a blowhard get called out when they're clearly in the wrong. Already, it seems to me that this man was trying to flex his knowledge to sort of flirt with this server, and she got some sort of personal satisfaction out of browbeating him, and then she wanted to post it on social media. It's ridiculous. Because sometimes that's just how men flirt. That's like a dude making fun of some chick that wore a low crop dress or whatever the hell, showing a lot of cleavage to try to attract him. And then he makes fun of her because she has like those little cup things that makes her breasts look bigger. Like it's stupid. It's really stupid, man. It's like, even if you don't respect what someone's doing, like you understand why they're doing it. You know, y'all trying to attract the opposite sex. It's not. This is what happened recently to TikToker Danny Castleberry. While she was working as a server and dealing with a customer who thought that they knew a ton about beer, while he was initiating conversation with her about different brewing terminologies. She corrected him on some incorrect. Okay, so he had most of it correct, but he said some words incorrectly. Some incorrect phrasing he used. She says in the TikTok, sometimes I hate being a server, then quit. You're obviously a shitty person. Because people think I'm dumb. That's not thinking you're dumb. Someone thinking they have more knowledge about a certain thing, and your job is just serving. It's not educating people. So what? Why would he assume that you know this? He just had the knowledge, and he wanted to have a conversation about it. He obviously ordered the drinks or whatever. The man was probably going to give you a tip. If you just entertained this conversation, and you just had to be an asshole. So people think I'm dumb, like I'm a dumb, feeble girl. I mean, you're probably feeble. Like that's objectively probably feeble. You don't, yeah. There's no way you like hitting the gym and yeah, like a 12-year-old boy is probably more physically capable than you. So you're feeble, and you seem kind of dumb by the way you're reacting to things. So it's not. It's you projecting other feelings on other people, because that's probably how you feel about yourself. Because I doubt. How does feebleness come into this? Him having a conversation with you. How did feebleness come into this? And then why would he think you were dumb just because he wanted to talk about something? People don't try to have conversations with dumb people. They don't. They might talk to them, they might give them advice, or they might curse them out, but they don't try to have a fucking knowledgeable conversation with a dumb person. This guy came into the restaurant. Of course, he came into the goddamn restaurant. What else would he do? How would he get in there? You could have just said a customer at the restaurant. We're like, oh, this guy, he just swaggered into there. Like just the other day, and like without skipping a beat, there's a lot of stuff that had to have gone on in between that. Getting into the restaurant, having a seat, having you greet him before he orders something. He explains to me every single beer on the menu. There's no way he explained every single one, because that would be a long ass conversation. Like what it is and like where it's from, and you say like a lot, even when you're writing. Like, I don't know. Why would he assume that you would know where it's from? I don't even want to.
I came into my restaurant the other day and like without skipping a beat explains to me every single beer on the menu.
Oh, she's just telling the story over again. I don't care. If you thought that the height of the individual's pretension, this whole story only makes you look bad. I don't. In explaining the beers on the menu to someone who spends their days serving them would end there, you'd be wrong. And then he goes as far as to explain the brewing process to me. Why would he assume you'd know that? And I'm like, yeah, wow, that's wild. You shouldn't have friends. No one should hang out with you because you are a boring individual. If that's the height of your goddamn conflict in your life, the most interesting thing you have to say, and this is how you choose to say it, you should never talk to anybody. Oh, wow, that's wild. You're definitely a dumb, feeble girl. I remind myself not to say I think when correcting someone. If they gonna be that confident being, just choose not to spell words correctly. There's got to be a spell check. Wrong, then I should be just as much so when I'm right. What? Why are people making excuses for being assholes? Just because someone made an assumption, you could just correct them. It's a conversation. It's free flowing. You get a chance to speak. They get a chance to speak. It's not. You don't have to suffer their. Oh my God. It's like social skills aren't like social skills shouldn't be taught in schools, but at least people should learn like they're new to the real world for some reason. Like they have never talked to a person before in their entire life. She continued, and he said they use diatomic earth to filter beers, and also that nice juicy sour taste that you get is from lactobacillum. And I was like, I think it's bacillus. Yeah, he just got the wording incorrect. It's like Latin. Like he got it incorrect. What's your point? So he was right about everything else, but he was just right. He was just wrong about that freaking word. And he goes like tackles. What did he actually say? I think you're filtering a lot of the conversation to make yourself seem smarter, but I doubt this actually went that way. Don't quit your day job. That's not your job. Like that's not, I don't think that's right, sweetheart. So he laughs and he says, don't quit your day job. Yeah, he doesn't have any confidence in your knowledge. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You could have told him your goddamn credentials and maybe he would believe it. What, you're just a server in his eyes. What, the man knows nothing about you. He's into beers, obviously. He went to a place where you can order a bunch of beers on the menu, and he struck up a conversation about it because he has a lot of knowledge about the thing. And you're just a server, so that's all he knows about you. You could have easily clarified your credentials in the conversation. As soon as he started explaining things, you could have said all of this instead of just. I have never in my life kept my mouth shut when I have the ability to embarrass a customer. Is this a Leo thing? No, you're just a dick. If I didn't need this tip for my rent money, I would have said something. Of course. So you're being deceptive in order to get a tip. And you could have perfectly been nice to him and explained to him your credentials, and he would have known that you have knowledge about the thing. Or you could have cut in with something, explained something about one of the beers, and he would have known, okay, you know something. The conversation would have gone completely different way. You could have had a friendly back and forth about your knowledge about the stuff, and you could have got a bigger tip. You know, personal skills. You work in the service industry. So you pretended to be a dumb, feeble girl, and you projected on him that he thought that about you. You pretended to be that. Clearly frustrated with the man's gratuitous confidence. Is it his confidence? In his own understanding of beer, he was wrong about one goddamn word. It's a Latin word. She continued her story. I was like, you're never gonna believe what my job is, but I didn't tell him. Why does she talk like this? I was like it's like you're never gonna believe what my job is. Thanks, you're a server, but I didn't tell him. But I am gonna show TikTok what my job is. Why does this woman have followers? I wouldn't have tolerance to politely deal with that attitude. She's getting tips. She's getting paid to deal with it. No name. Turn it around and treat him like a toddler who just learned something new. Wow, I'm so proud of you for knowing that. Why? Why? Why do any of that? It prolongs the conversation that you didn't want to have in the first place. The only reason you're talking to this guy is because he's a customer at the restaurant where you work. You're talking to him because of work. So it's a work thing. Either do your job or get a new job. The camera then cuts to Danny walking through a brewery. Is that all in the video that I didn't want to watch? This is my day job. I work at the oldest and most award-winning brewery in Nevada, and it is lactobacillus, and it's not diatomic earth, it's diatomaceous earth. So suck my. Yeah. Yeah, two words wrong. But you're not complaining about the rest of his knowledge. He's not being quizzed. And the clip closes out with Danny pouring beer into a glass from a keg. I don't like this one. Based on her own story, I already don't like her. The brewery should pay you more. Why? You don't have to work a second job. Why? I get paid okay here, but I really like the restaurant. I like meeting people. Obviously not. TikTokers in the comments section of the video shared Danny's frustration, with some offering up what response would be, uh, their response would be had they been in the same scenario. Others recounted their own interactions with know-it-all customers who are otherwise not as knowledgeable as they thought in their conversations with employees. Listen, everyone ever, including you assholes, telling the story, if you talk long enough about things you think you're knowledgeable about, you're going to get some things wrong. It's just a fact of life. The man was as knowledgeable as he thought he was. He just, some words like diatomaceous and lactobacillus, easy things to get mixed up. Easy things. It's not common words that you say every day. And he was just saying it in conversation. He wasn't giving a goddamn professional lecture. If okay, I have had men try to explain muscle physiology to me in the gym, and they have no idea that I'm a professor of anatomy and physiology. How in the hell would they know that? They're in a gym, other people are working out, they're having a conversation about muscles. They're probably explaining it in case you didn't know, so that they can continue the conversation with both of you now having the knowledge. What is wrong with you assholes? Something's seriously got to be in the water, because there's too many people like this in the world. You had a conversation with somebody that you didn't want to have. Now you have a problem with their gender because of it. Because what about all the uncomfortable conversation you had with women? They don't count because they're not men. Imagine a world where he had asked questions, found out about your other job, and learned cool new facts instead of lecturing. I can imagine it. Yeah, I can imagine a world where she actually have a conversation with the guy and actually explained her background to him, and they had a goddamn, you know, a productive conversation. I can imagine that too. But unfortunately, she's socially stunted. I've had, okay, I already saw that one. Imagine, oh, yeah. Oh, I wish I had told him. Why? Why do you wish, and why didn't you just do it? I hope he has TikTok and sees this. Why? He's probably an old man, and I doubt he's on TikTok. The satisfaction of seeing the job done, the day job. Okay. There was nothing satisfying about that. It only appeased her own ego. I wouldn't have had the tolerance to politely deal with that attitude. Turn it around and treat him like, yeah, I saw that one already. Me, a person who has never worked in a brewery and doesn't even drink beer, knew he was wrong. Why? Because you Googled it? What are you talking about? Who are you? When folks asked Danny why she didn't call the customer out, Danny replied, if I didn't need this tip, yeah, I remember her saying that. I'm disappointed in humanity. Very much so.